So hopefully this is working. Hopefully Garrett can jump onto our Twitch channel and make sure that that's happening. My name is Dalton Hawkins. I am the current Executive Director, League Commissioner, I don't know what my title is, for the Idaho Esports Association. Behind me, in case you hear it, sorry, I do have practice going on. So just know that that is going to be a thing. They have been told to keep quiet, but we'll see. Joining me today, we do have Garrick from the middle school. Is anything going?
I'm good.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry. I had a blip and I thought I lost the whole thing.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, I just got the went live notification. He represents our middle school organization, kind of a side group to what we do in the high school. I think I technically oversee both, but we appreciate everything that he does for the middle school. So we are the Idaho Esports Association. This is our coach kickoff meeting. If you're a player, I'm going to be honest, this probably isn't for you. Our win condition, as always, is kids playing game. Thank you, Doc, for that wonderful link or wonderful phrase. I've definitely tried to take that to heart as much as I can. It kind of guides a lot of what we do as an organization, as much as possible. It's not always possible, but we try our best. So we are a group of educators and administrators who came together to create this organization. We've, as an official organization, been around for, I think, technically 3 years. I've been involved for 4, and then there was another group that was involved before that. We are a 501c3, both in the state of Idaho and according to the IRS. So we are a nonprofit. We are also members of the Interstate Scholastic Esports Association. However, we are able to maintain full autonomy with that. We have some kind of cool stuff, if you haven't heard about it already, when it comes to from what we've gotten from that. Our players are students and like kids that live in the state of Idaho. Our background is just as diverse as our state. We all have one common interest, and that is gaming. We are focused on delivering the best opportunities to both players and coaches. We are pretty small. There's me, Garrick, Mitch, and Nate, and we all kind of have our own varying things that are going on with our lives. We don't take a salary for this. We are all volunteer. So know that we do this out of love and passion. We're not in it for the cash. We could charge a lot more money and be making salaries, but we try to keep this as affordable as possible. Which I just talked about all of it. Yeah, I'm the passionate coach. I'm on the National Association of Esports Coaches and Directors Advisory Board. I'm the league commissioner for the IEA. And I'm always looking to try and improve both my team, as you can hear them in the back. I also have middle schoolers, and the IEA in general through anything I can. Nate, he kind of heads up our Treasure Valley just because it's so massive. He helps TO. He very much, according to this, is keeping Apex alive, and he is my Canva girly. Anything I need Canva made, he is in charge of that. Mitch is our financial officer. He also is a science teacher, and he's kind of the Super Smash Bros. Dude for us. If I have a Smash Bros. Question, I typically go to him, and then I go to some of our coaches. And then we have...
I'm Garrett Cohn. I'm the middle school director. I currently, I'm teaching 10th grade English. I've been playing.
Oh, I lost you.
Love this. It's been a blast to be a part of all this.
Okay. Yeah, he's teaching 10th grade. I lost you, so I'm guessing that I did too. But he's having fun, so it's been a thing. So this year, our season is going to be kicking off February 9th. That's our first week, first day. And at the high school level, we're going to have Rivals, Overwatch 2, Valorant, Rocket League, Super Smash Bros., Solos, and Crew. We'll talk about Solos here in a second. Fortnite, we are transitioning to a 2v2 box fight because Epic's lobbies need work. And then Apex Legends, we are having as a crossover with middle school again, and then we are also adding iRacing this year. I don't think we missed anything off there. You will notice for some of you that League of Legends is not on there. We are working with Oklahoma and a few other states in order to kind of create a bigger League of Legends. If you have an interest, let us know, and we can get you in touch with Oklahoma. They're kind of housing all of the one or two League of Legends teams that seems to exist across the nation. So, like I said, new for this year, we are going to offer Super Smash Bros. Solos. That's going to look a little different. We are starting to transition to the idea of solo games. Nate, I believe, will talk about that here in a second in a pre-recorded thing that he has. Also with Super Smash Bros., Steve is allowed per a agreement with Nintendo, as well as we kind of figured no one's hitting those Steve techs. We can cover that if we get there. Hallow Bastion, I really hope I spelled that right. I just realized I didn't go and checked it. We've added, and then I am echoing. That's awesome. I don't know why.
Maybe you have your Twitch volume on still.
I don't know. Shouldn't. I'm not hearing it. Okay. I don't know. Sorry. Oh, okay. All right. I'm just gonna run with it. Hollow Bastion is gonna be added. We are gonna remove. I'm pretty sure it was Yoshi's, and we're gonna be bringing back some map banning stuff. Marvel Rivals is going to be added as a title. We'll talk about that here in a minute. And then iRacing is going to be a solo game. And then we are, like I said, moving Fortnite to box fights mode. That code I think I have live somewhere for you guys to test out. You do need 4 players to complete it, because that's as far as I got with my programming.
Hey, everybody.
Sorry. This is going to be a word from Nate here in a second.
Hey, everybody. Sorry I am unable to make it today. Hopefully you all are doing great and my colleagues are doing awesome. But I did want to talk a couple things about the iRacing season and the Apex season here. Just to give you guys some info and hopefully answer some or give you guys some clarification, and then I'll let you guys ask some questions to my email or things like that. So first and foremost, I do want to talk about the iRacing season. So the iRacing season is going to operate pretty differently from basically every other game. And this is kind of to tackle 2 things here. One, it's really to kind of focus on more of a traditional racing season. And as well, the length of the season, if we get you guys codes within the next week,
Sorry, guys, I think an ad started. I did not turn those off. I forgot to. Shoot. Ads. I got to go into Twitch. Sorry, folks. I forgot about that part. Whee! You're not supposed to see those. Twitch. It's going to be a minute and a half. Yeah, I know. I'm going to try and turn them off. Twitch.
Ads on everything is a little annoying.
Yep. I'm just taking a thing from Queso here, guys, of just pausing whenever my ads come through, because not everyone can afford a subscription, right? At least that's what my kiddo tells me. He does. Earnings? Is that what I do? Payouts? Monetization? Ads. Turn off ads. Okay. Manual. Longer ads left. We'll try that. Okay. Alright. I don't know if I fixed it. I don't really mess with this. Yeah. Okay. I don't know. Are we back?
My school internet is garbage. My phone internet is apparently not working either.
Okay.
I don't know what's going on over here in Southeast Idaho.
All right. Well, I'm just gonna say that's been a minute and a half me trying to mess around with that.
If I've timed it correctly, if I've done my math correctly, we will be able to do the season within the free 3 months that iRacing is giving us for new accounts. So then that way we can have one season where you guys aren't having to pay for an iRacing subscription. So that's my hope. So you guys don't have to pay for an extra month, but hopefully I nailed that right. But essentially the way that iRacing is going to work is that it's going to be 9 weeks long. So it's going to start that first week, and it's going to end the same time that the state plans and things like that for the other games are going to be done. So it's going to be 9 weeks solid. And so the first 3 weeks are going to be practice. Essentially, we'll have 1 week, one race on a map or on a track that we'll try for each discipline. And then after that, the next 6 weeks are going to be the championship. So instead of us, having a regular season and then a postseason, we're just doing a full racing season championship. So whatever happens after the first 3 weeks. And so hopefully those first 2 weeks are to iron out the bugs. So that way we can have 6 weeks of intense competition. So points will be accumulated over the 6 races. You'll be able to see that breakdown. I'm working on the rule set right now, but I'm almost done there. Surprise, surprise, there's a lot to racing. So got to write down a lot of things there. The top 3 will be crowned after week 9. So after those 6 weeks of the championships are completed, we'll be done. So the season this year for iRacing is going to be across 3 disciplines: road, formula, and oval. So the road discipline, that's going to be the MX-5, the Mazda Miata, which is a perfect, really easy to use road car. Formula, we're going to be using the FF1600, which is a free car, and then oval will be doing mini stock. And then during the championship season, we will have 2 races across 2 weeks, so a race a week for each one of the disciplines. So each discipline gets 2 weeks of racing, spread across 6 weeks. There you go. All the cars and the tracks that are going to be in there are going to be included with the license. I posted the track list on Discord. I'll get that in the rule set hopefully by the end of this week. And that's that. The other thing with the iRacing season is that because we want the most amount of people to do this, this will be a solo sport. So meaning 3 people from one school could be the top 3. This really is a solo sport. We'll send the trophy to the school, but it'll be a solo sport. And maybe future seasons, we might think about, making this a team sport and, 2 drivers per team and blah, 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 blah. Have a constructors championship and stuff like that. But for ease of this season, it is going to be a solo sport. With that, the QR code here is there for the iRacing codes. So the note on this and the word that we get from iRacing is that these codes are for educational institutions, meaning these codes are for school accounts only. If an individual student wants an account, they will need to purchase one. That being said, the accounts you can't just put like Bishop Kelly as the first and last name. It has to be someone's first and last name. So how you see that fit, I'll leave that up to you. But our disclaimer is that this does need to be for school accounts. If you want to transfer ownership after the season or something like that, that's something that we could potentially talk about. But you yourself as the coach have to be the one to set up, and I'll send out information about how to set up your accounts once you get there. But that's the stipulation. The codes are going to be for a free 3 months. So any additional months will need to be purchased. iRacing licenses for 1 month, I believe it's $15 for the month. But I could be wrong. I think it's $10. My 6-month license was it might be 15. Don't quote me on that. I have to look at the numbers again. Steam, I bought mine on a Steam sale. I love iRacing. It's so fun. I think the kids are gonna love this. So that's kind of that. I'm trying to think if there was something else I wanted to touch on. Your kids are more than welcome to use their existing iRacing licenses. They don't have to use the school one. In fact, I almost encourage them to use their personal ones as well, so in that way they can have this data being tracked and things like that, and they've got all their setups and stuff like that. So I know a lot of kids are going to end up playing this game from home, which is why we'll talk about the start time being about an hour later. Essentially, how the race week is going to go, you'll see this all in the rule books, but effectively the race time will be Thursdays, but the lobby is going to open up on Wednesdays to run qualifying, so then that way kids aren't trying to rush home and get qualifying done. They can do it within about a 24-hour period when they find it convenient. So hopefully that makes a lot of sense. But yeah, iRacing, I wanted to touch on this because it is going to be a little bit different with that. There is no state championship. The state championship is basically the entire season. So reason for this is we're going to have some rookies and high class potential kids racing together in the same lobby. If someone gets accidentally taken out, I don't want it to ruin their season, as a 3-week championship would have. But yeah, and then as well, depending on how many signups and things like that, if we get a ton of signups, there's a chance that we'll create 2 lobbies. One that is, rookie class, people who are just starting out, brand new, only a couple hours in the game, and maybe kids that are more experienced, depending on what signups look like. So again, the iRacing is still in terms of the lobbies and stuff like that. We're waiting to see what registration is going to look like to be able to make a for sure on that. But the iRacing codes themselves, I'll go ahead and please sign up, and this is what the season's going to look like. So the other change I want to talk about, because Apex Legends is my baby, I want to talk about some of the changes to Apex this year. So I do want to announce that, again, I spoke with our Respawn rep. We are at officially sanctioned tournament again, our tournament again this year from Respawn, meaning we're going to get to be able to use that website with really cool tracking and stuff like that. So really stoked about that. If you pay attention to Apex Legends, one thing I do want to talk about is that there is a chance in about 3 weeks that Apex Legends is going to run Apex Legends 2.0, and they're going to get the revamp. The rumor mill around this revamp is that they're going to be moving to Unreal Engine 5, which, for all better or for worse. So if you have kids playing at school, know that if you're upgrading from Marvel Rivals, that'll probably cover Apex Legends as well, because UE5 tends to be the system killer. So depending on how optimized they make the game, if you're an Arc Raiders fan, they made that game very optimized. So, but UE5, that's the rumors. There's allegedly a new legend that's going to be coming out. And again, the release date for this is unknown. But there is a lot of talk around it. The Apex CEO or the Respawn or EA CEO mentioned it about a year ago that it's something that's coming in the pipeline of Q1 2026. The Apex Legends new season starts usually the first week of our season, so there's some speculation that it's probably going to happen right around then. But for Apex, for the IEA, we're moving forward expecting that this is going to be something that's going to come out. So for this Apex, we're making some changes. So for the IEA, we are allowing a maximum of 2 teams per school. And this, but the flip side of this is that both teams are going to be able to compete for the state title. The reason for this is a trend that I noticed last year was that schools that had a second team or had a third team or a fourth team or things like that, a lot of times those teams only had 1 or 2 players. And in order to really increase the competitive nature of our lobbies, I'd love to see full teams. And so the kind of solution to this is, if your school is a school that has more than 2 teams, this is the potential for us to use the co-op system. What that means is that they'll kind of run as an independent team. So there'll be School A x School B. A perfect example was Renaissance and Rocky last year, where it would be where they were Renaissance or Rocky X renaissance and things like that. So the idea behind that is, let's say you have a third team and maybe it's only 2 kids. You want to make sure that they play Apex Legends, but they were one of those teams that only had 2 kids, that weren't a full trio in the lobby, and ended up getting stomped and were kind of free points for other teams sometimes. The idea behind that is there were plenty of schools that only had 1 kid, or halfway through the season, they only had 1 kid. So maybe this year they only have 1 kid for Apex and they're not able to run a team. But they really would love to run a team. This is where we can combine them, and they would be School A, School B, and they would be a completely separate team. So this is kind of your school could have 3 or 4 teams, but that 3rd and 4th team may have 1 kid from another school, if that makes sense. The idea of this is to create the most amount of trios as possible, but also open up that opportunity for the fact that for both teams to compete in the state title. Unlike the other games where the second teams were playing in the same they were in the same pool in the regular season as other things. This is legitimately where your second team is playing in the same lobbies, and oftentimes better than most of the teams in the exact same lobbies for Apex. And they're having to sit out, even though reasonably they should have a shot. The way I kind of look at Apex Legends is it's kind of operating more similarly to our solo sports than it is our other team sports. So that's the rule change. But again, limiting max of 2 teams per school both prevents a school from being able to flood and be taken first, second, and third, right? But also, again, opens up that opportunity to have more trio teams by using the co-op system. So these rules are going to follow the same rules as the transfer rules. So the idea behind that is you have to go to your closest nearby schools first. So then that way, Bishop Kelly can't partner up with, Rigby or something like that, right? And we create the ultimate conglomerate team of death, right? Or things like that, right? It's more of just, we got to follow those same transfer rules. But we're open. The whole goal of this, again, is to have the most amount of trios possible. But again, limiting schools to two teams per school. So if you have any questions, comments, concerns about this, please feel free to shoot me an email. But I did want to talk about these 2 things again, sorry I'm not here to answer your questions live, but again, I'm more than happy to answer your questions as we go.
All right, I'm back. So folks, if you have questions, Apex or iRacing, shoot those over to Nate. He has taken the lead kind of on those things. They've kind of become his little passion projects. He is at something or other with Boise State. You can talk to him if he wants to talk to you about that. I just realized there's a typo in here. But Garrick, you're up.
All right.
Hopefully, I'll take over to you.
Here's hoping. My internet has not been doing well for me right now here at the school. But we are excited. With middle school, we have had to make a few changes. We didn't have enough teams coming out for Valorant, or that were hoping to come out for Valorant, so we had to pull that from the middle school docket.
And I lost.
So the 4 titles we're running this year, we're going to have Mario Kart, Rocket League, Smash Brothers, and Splatoon 3. Splatoon 3 is going to be part of our deal with Nintendo. So we're running that kind of as a club that's going to be on Mondays. We're going to see how it goes. And if we have enough interest, then we turn into a full-blown season next year. But right now, we're not sure where people are at. So we're just going to run it as a club and have it open. Middle school's as it goes. On Discord, my goal this year is to use Discord more often and to make sure that I'm getting announcements out to anybody who needs them. So please, if you are not currently listed as a middle school coach on Discord, if you don't have that as one of your roles, email me so that obviously give me your Discord name as a middle school coach, and let you know. Any middle school coaches listening, I opened up registration for middle school leagues today. So you can start getting your teams registered for the season as of right now. We will be starting on the 9th, just like the high school. I guess I didn't get a chance to put in later in the here, but Splatoon is on Mondays.
If you check our website, it has everything.
Same as last year if you were here, so nothing's changing there. And then Apex we play whenever the high school plays.
Yeah, in case you missed those days because you dropped out on me. They're on the website, idahoesports.gg. Smash Bros on Tuesday, Rocket League Wednesday, Mario Kart Thursday. Okay, cool. Yeah, we are kind of combining legal Apex Legends. As Nate said earlier, we are trying to prioritize getting teams of 3 because teams of 1, I don't really care how good they are. They're gonna suck. I think we might have an ad break coming up here soon. Maybe. I tried snoozing it. Let's see if anyone says you're on an ad break. I swear I have moderator settings on that are supposed to show me this. Well, hopefully someone says you're having an ad break, and I'll pause. Okay, so costs. We did unfortunately have to kind of raise our costs a little bit in order to make kind of some stuff work financially. As costs go up, is kind of what I'm saying. Where last year we didn't do super great. You can check out our financials if you want to see it on our website. But this year we're going $40 for Fortnite, 100 for Overwatch, 100 for Valorant, 60 for Apex, Rocket League at the high school level 60, middle school 30, solos $20 per player at the high school. Middle school, you're doing solos?
No, it's
Oh.
there for option. We're not planning on it, but
Okay.
I figured if we had enough interest, I wanted to make sure that the cost was out there for any coaches that wanted to know.
So middle school, if you have kids interested in solos, reach out to Garrett and let him know. Crew is 60, Mario Kart 8 is 20. I realize I didn't put iRacing on there or Rivals. Rivals would be 120, and then iRacing would be 20 per player. So I'll fix that and we'll send that out. I think it's all listed on the website. I'll double check that statement though. There are 2 other games, or at the high school level, 2 other games. I think we talk about games here in a minute though. So, but those are just free. For costs, normally this comes. What about for racing? Yeah, iRacing $20 a player. Hawks. I think. I would think we were allowed to do that. Yeah, we are. So invoices are going to be sent out the first of the week or first week of competition via Stripe, or once you tell us this is what we're going to register. We do ask that those get paid within 3 weeks and sent back to us. You can do cash or don't do cash. I don't think you're actually technically supposed to send cash over through mail. Your school can do checks. They can also pay the invoice on Stripe itself. If your IT department put any restrictions in place recently, just pay attention to that. If you don't see anything come out within the first week, please let us know. We'll get that. We'll figure out some other way. It should show as coming from Idaho Esports if I set everything up right. So yeah, please play by the 3rd. As we have always said, if payment is an issue, like I get it. Like a lot of districts are starting to cut funding, and like I know for us, we're having to do our own fundraising for a lot of this. If cost is an issue and it's going to prevent you from playing, please let us know. We can make something happen. If you want to make sure that you pay, you can. We can figure out payment options or stuff like that. Just we want to make sure that kids are going to have the ability to play, but we also need to pay for things like our trophies and things like that. If someone has some sponsors that want to pick some stuff up, we can help. We're definitely willing to work with them to help reduce some of these prices. If you don't pay or communicate, all you have to do is communicate. This can result in removal from the season and a disqualification for any state championships. If Sandpoint didn't pay, I would totally be expecting that I probably can't qualify if I haven't figured something out with them. There are not any refunds for incomplete seasons, so if your kids start up and then they disband after 3 weeks, well, I mean, you could probably at that point get away with it, but after that, once you've paid us, sorry, we don't really do refunds at that point because we're already putting money into trophies and such like that. Streaming, we do encourage you guys to stream if your school district allows it. Share it with us. We have an X, we have a Facebook, we have an Instagram that I never post to because I forget about it. We are more than happy to send your stuff out. We have people that follow us across the nation, state organizations, coaches from various colleges that want to hit up all of our players. That they'll follow, they'll like, they'll do all that stuff. We'll retweet or re-exit. I don't know what we call it anymore. Do that type of stuff. Um, in general, teams are allowed one streamer or coach for a match. There are sometimes exceptions. University of Idaho and Boise State have been great about occasionally picking stuff up. I think ISU has mentioned they might be interested in streaming some of our stuff as that. We will communicate those ahead of time with the coaches of, hey, you're going to be streamed. This person's going to be in a spectator slot. They will be able to see kind of everything. They are required to be on a 2-minute delay. For some games, that's not too big. Like rivals, I think of sometimes, ults carry across games, so you technically could be good players. Don't stream snipe. Teams are allowed, like I said that, spectate your team only. If you have YouTube or Twitch, let us know. Coaches and teams follow and like all the other team channels that you can find. Let's see here. Steps to register. So if you don't already, you should have a registration through LegoS. If not, please hit us up at info@idahoesports.gg. We will get you that link to your school as soon as we can, so that then you have control of it and you can start creating your teams. After that, invite your students to the school and start creating your teams. They will need to fill out game linking information, except for Smash Bros. Oops, did not mean to move that. Smash Bros, you don't need to do that. Mario Kart as well, because we don't need every kid to have their own account for that. Smash Bros is a little bit honor based, and I would say that's even for solos. I'm not like, I'd love for it to say like every kid needs to, but I also recognize that Super Smash Bros with all the DLC is over like $120, and so I get it. Please try and have your teams registered by the 6th. I believe I have everything open. Someone will tell me tonight or tomorrow if something's broken. So they do need to have their stuff
just
linked.
wanted to,
Yeah.
I just want to point out that Mario Kart and Splatoon as well.
Okay.
Same boat as SSB. You do not need to have everybody with their own account on those. Any of the Nintendo games, your school account's more than enough.
Yep. Yeah. School accounts for Nintendo's perfect. Love it. Yes. Well, it's a little bit honor based. Like, I believe in. I trust all of the schools here. Teams. You guys can have as many times as you want to field. We do suggest thinking about subs, especially since there's no cost for subs. We don't charge for subs. Some organizations do. We do not. We get it. They're not actively playing, so why should they be paying? That does potentially help your bottom line in terms of spreading out that cost. Every school who's competed for the entirety of the season is eligible to participate in the state play-ins. Only one team per game is allowed to play, with the exception of solos, which will be anybody and everybody is qualified, or that can continue on in the state play-in. And then, as Nate mentioned, in Apex, their kind of thing. And then there was something else too that I was thinking of. iRacing. Yeah. So, 1 second. Okay. All right. Sorry, my kiddo was bugging me. So you must have rosters for all teams. It is important that your players use the correct account so that the stream name comes across correctly. A lot of the League OS systems rely on this being good for a long time. Have a very, sit your players down and go, your screen name needs to be set for the next, 3 months. Do not change them. Names in game must match the League OS screen. If you don't, then if the other team is not, then I would say, hey, you guys got to remedy this situation, or you're playing that player down. it is very important. Your team can and will be disqualified for things. It's not great. Also, pay attention to what your kids' screen names should be. They should be school appropriate. We do have coaches from across the nation watching our streams, and so they should be something good. If you look at pro streamers or you look at pro players, it is few and far between that they're inappropriate names because sponsors want to have connections with good team names and good player names too. So just keep that in mind. Harp on it to your students. With the exception, again, Super Smash Bros. Uh, both crew battle, solos, Mario Kart 8, and as Eric brought up, Splatoon. Those don't need to necessarily match, but hopefully you have like a Sandpoint or whatever it is in there. Start times. This is not the right link. We'll send it out. So we will have you guys again report your release times. It seems like every school changes every year, so we want to make sure. In general, our kind of go-to is if your release is prior to 3:30, we try to put you in the Mountain League. If your release is after 3:30, Mountain. This is Mountain time. Not a lot of you guys are Pacific yet. If your release is after 3:30 Mountain, we try and put you in Pacific. If you need exceptions for that, please let us know. We'll do our best. This is not like jumping to Pacific is not a time. Oh, we need 2 hours to warm up. Like, no, like get in, get it done, that type of thing. A lot of our teachers are volunteers still coaching this, so we are trying to kind of be respectful on that time. Middle school, 3:45 Mountain, 2:45 Pacific, unless you're playing Sandpoint, in which case we'll be kicking that out farther because we're on Pacific time and my kids don't get out until 2:55 Pacific, 3:55 Mountain. So
Just a point to add to that, our middle schools across the state are getting out at a wide variety of times. So at middle school, 3:45 is kind of like a
hope, hopefully, because he's dropping out on me.
enough middle schools to divide up by time. So we just need to communicate and work together.
Yep. So, all right, cool. This is the schedule. It is available on our website. This is for the high school. Sorry. This is the high school schedule currently. So you will see we got Marvel Rivals. Those are going to be separated by time zone currently. Crew Battle by time zone on Monday. Tuesday, Overwatch and Valorant. Yes, we are aware that this is 2 5-player games. Honestly, our Overwatch numbers are dwindling, and so this is the least conflictive from everything that we had going into this. If you need something, we can chat, but we would really prefer to keep this. Wednesday is going to be our 2v2 box fight and our Rocket League matches. And then Thursday is going to be Apex Legends, Super Smash Bros. Solos, and iRacing. And then on Friday, we are going to be offering an open queue Mario Kart 8 and Street Fighter. These are going to be free-to-play games. You're not going to know who it is ahead of time. You're just going to jump into the queue and you're going to play. Would Smash Bros. Kids have to play twice for crew and solos? Yes. Yeah, 2 different titles, 2 different trophies, 2 different kind of venue costs to us. So yeah. And then Garrett covered Smash or middle school. I don't have that slide in here because I didn't grab it. But that will be up to date on the website. You can actually filter by level. I spent a lot of time working on the new website design and some AI support. So we do utilize League OS. This is an old screenshot. They have actually updated their platform since this screenshot was taken. This is how we're going to communicate and manage pretty much everything. This is all official communication for games. Is going to happen through League OS. They have a new dashboard and comm system. We're going to lean heavily into that because Discord is not allowed at all districts, and it's not a fight I'm willing to have because I don't agree with a lot of Discord. Yes, I know I'm active on Discord, but I don't agree with a lot of the stuff that they do, and especially if they become a public organization. I really yeah. League OS may advertise some opportunities in their Discord. I think they're moving more to their platform. They did get rid of their Discord bot, I believe, like last week. Um, so um, this would probably be a lot less. Um, have your players join into the college prospect system, especially at the high school level. It's I had a kid qualified for the top 100. We have some kind of cool stuff coming out as we kind of dial some stuff in about a nationals opportunity for a lot more players where you don't have to travel. So we're working on that. Let's see. Oh yeah, so I did provide this. They have a new dashboard, super nice. App.leagueos.gg/dash. Especially those of you that maybe are in different organizations besides IEA, so such as Valhalla. They use LeagueOS as well. You can kind of have all things in one spot. And then they also have a chat system. This will start getting filled in with your match chats, so you don't have to jump page to page. It's all going to be in one space where you'll be able to see, here's your Rocket League chat for the day, here's your Smash Bros chat for the day. Like all of your chats will be in one spot. So it should make that a lot cleaner instead of having to go to every single match page and find it. Like, so, yeah. Word wall, I know. It League OS is our official chat. That's what we're gonna go with because we can see anything that's deleted, all that type of stuff. Email, you can try, but we are coaches on our own, so we might not be super responsive. We do ask if you have a match dispute, please try as coaches or team captains come to some sort of resolution. The idea being is there's also the new League OS. Is there a preferred browser? It seems broken. Hit Control F5. Um, that's kind of been my solution to it. So coaches and team captains try to resolve things to the best of your ability. Match resets are really hard, especially games like Valorant. Yeah, well, we'll talk to you, right, doggy? And so try and figure it out before escalating. The IEA team, like I said, is very small. We kind of are coaches as well for the most part. So try and do that. The disputes should be reserved for legitimate rule breaking or match issues. I really want to cover this. I did last year as well. We don't endorse or support any of the silly. If you're in Valorant and you agree to a knife fight and the other guy pulls out a pistol and kills you and wins the match, he won. Like I don't care. It is you should be playing to win every single time. And if they take advantage of you trying to be ridiculous, then no. Like it's that's their win. So there should be a dispute button whenever you're in a match that you can deal with it, or that you can flag if something's going on. My general practice, just to give you guys a practice from me as a coach, is only my team captains are allowed to chat to the other team. That just that makes it so I get to yell at one kid instead of five. So that's my suggestion. I know it kind of kills some of like they got to interact with each other. Like no, like the only person that gets to chat is my team captains. They know I will find them and they will get to do push-ups if they decide to chat. Spring break. This is always a thing that comes up, and it comes up with an issue. Every team gets one official bye week during the season. That's one. Some schools are lucky and they have 2 weeks off in this time period. You get to choose one. The other one you can either reschedule, you can forfeit, or you can play it. So play, reschedule, or forfeit. Those are your options for the games that aren't that week. We will send out a form again for you guys to put when your guys' spring break is going to be. If you don't have a spring break that lands during this time, such as Sandpoint, ours is after the season because we like to start late. You can choose one. Just don't. Yeah. Let us know if that is going to impact you because it could potentially run into play-ins. And so we want to try and respect your guys' spring breaks as much as possible because I know lots of families leave. Only one coach needs to fill out that spring break form, and we'll run from there. So yeah. All divisions are going to have a play-in and final event. High school play-in will be a 3-week process. Hopefully, we'll see what numbers look like. Only high school will have an in-person state event. We actually were just talking to BSU on this, so we do know those dates. I'll get those in there. We'll put those on the website. This typically does conflict with some traditional sports state. Unfortunately, kids are going to need to make a choice. We'll also talk about AP tests. I haven't had a chance to look at what AP tests there are those days. Middle school championships will be online. They'll we'll figure what those are once we see registration numbers. And like I said, or as Nate said, iRacing will be online, as will Rivals, just because it takes 6, and a lot of places have been so used to 5 ever since Overwatch switched to 5. We don't have any spots that are set up for teams of 6 that can handle it nicely. We'll move on from that. Like I said, AP test conflicts. There's always a conflict. I don't know. There's going to be an AP test conflict, and there's not much we can do about this without kicking it to end of May, in which case schools are out. I don't know if IB will be in conflicts. That one's less flexible than AP. So keep that in mind for your IB folks. I think we said somewhere around May 15th for this. So yes, tentative state plans April 6th to April 23rd. Go for the top 4. We'll communicate as things go out, as we figure out numbers. We are exploring options for wiggle room in this. Especially with solos, we're thinking we might be able to pull something off to make it more teams. Same with potentially Valorant and Overwatch. Don't quote me on that though. We still have to communicate and talk to some groups to make that happen. If we do anything else, it probably won't be at Boise State for any prelim and stuff that we do in person. But like I said, we are actively working on getting more teams to get to go to Boise area for things. Thanks. I've covered that like twice now, maybe 3 times. Students are allowed to do multiple games. However, at state championships, we are not holding games for kids being in another game. So they will probably need to make a choice, have subs, all that type of stuff. I wish we could, but we are always on a time crunch. And so pausing because little Jimmy is in a Super Smash Bros. Thing that's in wherever, and then we'll have that available. Website, check out our website. It's cool. We have idahoesports.org as well. It just redirects. If you're a student or a teacher that really likes coding, you are welcome to join up with us and make it even better. We recommend having completed the Odin project if you haven't tried that, or free code camp before starting and working with this. It's a lot of React and Next.js. I made it mostly myself. New coaches, if you're a new coach, contact Nate. Here's his email. He has what to expect when expecting an esports team. We're slowly converting that to be on the website that you can just go and check out. Reach out to any of us other coaches. We're all super willing to help you guys out as much as we can. We try and create videos and documents as much as possible. I didn't talk about it. LeagueOS has a better support site now, so support.leagueos.gg, and that has a lot of their support information on there.
And I'd like to point out that this includes coaches. If you have questions on how to coach something, when
He died on me again. Anytime he starts talking.
I ask for some advice,
Yeah.
Are you getting me now?
Now I am.
Okay, I was just coaches. If you need advice with coaching, jump into the Discord, the coaches general chat, and ask. I was struggling with my Smash Brothers players. I put out a request and asked. I had half dozen teams or more get.
Half dozen teams or more got back to him. We're a community, Idaho. We are Idaho, like Idaho strong. With that, I actually just thought about this. I didn't put it in here. I did put it in the newsletter. Hopefully, you guys saw that. If you didn't sign up for the newsletter, I think you should be able to on the website. We do have the opportunity to have a National Association of Esports Coaches and Directors Level 1 coaching come in and do an in-person if we have enough interest. If not, they will have an online option available to you guys. So let us know if you're interested in that in person. We will see what we can get for numbers and see if we can make something happen. I took it as part of the advisory committee or advisory board, and I think Nate was able to do it because he went to the summer conference. Um, and it's for me as an experienced coach, most of it was yeah, I've been doing that, but I've been doing this for 8 years. There were still some things that were really impactful that my players are putting into place today. They've been putting it in place for the last couple weeks, but that they've been able to be able to be putting it in place. I think it's really important. I think it's really valuable. It's about 6 hours of content. We are trying to work with Boise State or College of Southern Idaho to figure out if we can provide some kind of professional development level to those classes if that's of interest. IETA, we will be at IETA, or I will at least. I'll be presenting. I'll have three. I think I have 3 sessions that I'm covering. Like an esports 101. If you're on this call, you're probably past that class. Esports kind of a 102 and a 103. I'm still working on them. They're going to cover like a lot of culture type stuff, and then also like what to do now. Now that you have an esports program, what do you do? And then IETA is looking for teams to participate in their tournament. If you've ever been to IETA, they set up this huge jumbotron with like 5 or 6 or 10 or 12 stations and broadcast. It is a thing. People go in and just watch like theater style seatings. It's one a really great opportunity to train for an event like Boise State, like for this finals, because you're in front of a crowd, and that way your kids can freeze up and you can work on the freeze up issues. Um, as well as anyone that participates will get put in for a Legion laptop. If you are interested, please send me a message, shoot me a message, dalton.hawkins@idahoesports.gg. I'll get you in touch with Cody from Nampa School District. If you know Cody, you can just talk to him and tell him that I sent you so I get credit for that. But you guys are able to play. He did mention something about virtual. However, I would say that their preference would probably be people playing in person. Uh, the kids get into the event for free. They don't have to pay for that, all that type of stuff. I think you as a coach get to get in for free as well. So definitely with it. And if you haven't been to IT before, it's kind of cool. We have a few vendor friends that we get to hang out with and chat about how I wish I could afford all of their stuff, but I can't because it's like thousands of dollars. TeamSpeak, we do have a TeamSpeak agreement. They did recently release TeamSpeak 6, which is kind of nice. I like it over Discord because I can host it on a Raspberry Pi. It does have screen share now, which is a big deal. So, check out TeamSpeak. A lot lower latency because I literally host it in my classroom, and they can't go outside of it. Nintendo, if you did not know, we do have a Nintendo, I'm going to call it a sponsorship. I don't know if that's the word I'm supposed to use. Agreement? I don't know. Through the Interstate Scholastic Esports Association, us and Nintendo have come to an agreement. Basically, we get to use their stuff, and they give it to us. And then we just say, we're using Nintendo stuff. So all schools can get Smash Bros. And all DLC. That's easily like $100 per school just there for Smash Bros. And DLC. Mario Kart 8 and all of the DLC, Splatoon 3, and Nintendo Online for a year for each of their school accounts. The Smash Bros. And DLC, Mario Kart 8 DLC, and Splatoon 3 never expire. You get those games for the rest of time until they decide that you can't use that on the Switch too. So you get to use that stuff. You do still have to grind Smash Bros. To unlock everything. I have kids that's literally their job is to grind Smash Bros. Nintendo doesn't even have a way to unlock all of the characters. They literally hire people to go in and play Smash Bros. For like 12 hours to unlock all the characters. I'm like, sign me up for that job. You guys can't see me because I don't have my safe, but I will raise my hand. I was like, sign me up for that job. If you need those, contact us. I was doing it, and then I got overwhelmed, and so Nate and Garrick kindly offered to start picking that up. So if I've been radio silent on you guys, I'm sorry. We do have all DLC codes now. We do have, so for Smash Bros, if I only sent you DLC Pack 1, they do have access to the Pack 2 and Piranha Plant, who's separate for whatever reason because Nintendo. These codes are only for school accounts. These are not for personal player accounts, not for personal coach accounts. These are specifically for player accounts. We are sharing these across the Interstate Scholastic Esports Association, so we want to use them, but we want to make sure that it goes to schools instead of, oh, little Jimmy, you impressed me today. Here's a free Smash Bros. Code. Like, that's not what this is for. We want to make sure every school, their only barrier to playing a Nintendo thing right now is the internet, because that's a thing, and potentially getting a Switch. That said, if you guys need help getting Switches, I bought like 7 on eBay, and I'm pretty happy so far. I don't have it here, but I have some cool graphics as well that we might start doing for people that bring their Switches to state. If they let me know they're bringing them ahead of time, we'll get you guys some cool graphics that you can throw on the front of them. It's pretty cool. I think people are jealous, and so
We are.
yeah. Exclaim. If you have a local print shop, please use them. We love our local companies. However, if you don't have a local print shop, we do have an agreement with Exclaim. They're an apparel provider. They're pretty slick. I mean, you guys can't see me because I don't have it on there. I'm wearing their gear right now. I like it. You can create your own store. It's open all the time. I would say check with your athletic director or activities director to make sure you don't have some non-compete with BSN or some other company like that. And no, it doesn't. Oh, yeah. Yeah, right. The best thing is there is no minimum shipments. You don't have to do anything like that. It's always open, and your fans can actually. Oh, I see. Uh, and fans can purchase stuff. I have had a person order a bowling shirt. That's about as far as I've gone. I've just I ordered all of my apparel through it though. So they're pretty quick. I think it's like a 2-week turnaround. That's what they offer. Valhalla, if you're looking for other competition outside of what we're offering, check out Valhalla. This is actually a lie. They are free to play now, I believe. Is they just switched to that. Um, so it's not 25%. It's free to play. They are. We like them because they try and schedule around us, and they do. They say they take an approach of Idaho schools should have Idaho come first. And so they're really cool. It's a really cool group. Let us know if you're interested. They use League OS as well, so any roster changes that you make on League OS, it just transfers right across to them. So that's pretty slick. Nate loves using them. It definitely provides, especially for our higher tier teams, it provides another level of competition. Um, there's always something that I remember. League OS now has a scrim feature, so you can actually set up scrims and ask across the nation for the other teams that use League OS to coordinate scrims. Hit me up if you're interested. I think League OS also has a support article on how to do that. It's kind of their new thing that I asked for like 2 years ago, and they finally put it into place. A note from me. As some of you heard, after this year, I'm going to be stepping down from my position as the commissioner, executive director, whatever my thing is. But I just want to thank everybody. I'm finishing off this year, and then I will be sticking around with IEA just because so many things are in my account, in my name and stuff like that, that I don't want to leave everybody high and dry. But life has kind of required that I let something go. And for me, I think I've gotten this to a point that I'm really proud of, and I hope the next person can take it further. Um, there's been times that I've absolutely hated and loved. Bruno, I don't know if you're on this call, but in our first year of running as like an official organization, running spreadsheets, and then Bruno, he was like I think he was a junior. once was like, "Hey, can I do a leaderboard?" I'm like, "Bro, go for it. I don't have the time." And then a BK kid going to his parents in the middle of state and just like leaning into them, just go, "I'm so tired," um, and everything that's kind of happened in between. I can quite honestly say I have learned lots of stuff in this job and this role that I never would have learned otherwise, and that's pretty universal. Um, I have suggested to the board that they take 2 additional board members. Uh, we may be potentially looking for more. We will be sending out a form if you are interested in joining the board. We are going to put it to a vote by the general group on this one. And then ideally, we're going to be training you up during the season. We're not. We're finishing this off. We expect that, but we want to just make sure that everything kind of gets moved along nicely. So again, thanks everybody for everything that this whole experience that you've made for me, and I'll stick around. And Sandpoint can and will be there to destroy all of you guys in all of your games. For now, until I get a big paying job somewhere. Check out our socials. Typically at Idaho Esports is what I've always gone for. So we have a Twitch. Obviously, you're watching it on there. So like us, and if you have an Amazon Prime, you can subscribe for free. So like us. I don't know why those links are broken. We have an X, we have a Facebook, we have an Insta. If anyone wants to be a social media manager, I'm totally down to give you all of those codes. We do have a GitHub as well. If you want to copy our website, you are more than welcome to. I can help you through a lot of stuff. Let's see here. I think that's the end of our presentation. Eric, is there something that we forgot? I can't think of anything. I talked a lot.
If we forgot, we'll put it out.
Yeah, we'll get it. We'll get there. Hopefully, yeah. I'll double check that everything is open for registration. But we will stick around for 5 minutes if anyone has any questions that they want to set in there. February the 31st, you asked when will this be? It'll be on our YouTube channel. We'll have it on our YouTube at Idaho_esports. What? No way. You'll be able to watch it there. Yeah, and CR Hawks, I always pick on little Jimmy. I don't have a Jimmy. If your name is Jimmy, I'm sorry. And my kids are leaving, finally. Whew. All right, so that's it for us. If you have any questions, feel free to stick around, or you can throw stuff into our Discord, or send us an email at Idaho Esports, info@idahoesports.gg, and we will help you guys out. So, yeah. It's going to chill, unless my viewer count goes down to 0 or 2. Don't quit. But, yeah. How do you make iRacing tags? How do you make sure iRacing tags are the same on League OS? We do have a ticket in with League OS on how to do that properly. For right now, you shouldn't need racer names on there. We'll communicate that out whenever League OS says that they've made that available. If you're We might. That one's hard, actually, now that I think about it. Like, if we're doing school accounts. What is happening? Okay. Sorry. Some stuff just crashed. It's all good. Yeah, so we'll double check on the iRacing.
Got to log out.
All right. See you.
Bye.
And that then. Change the account name to the number. Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah. We'll probably have to. We might do a little bit of that. I'll talk to the League OS and just make it maybe that the kids could potentially be switching um, their names because a lot of times League OS it's just locked in. So we'll click on that. True. Yeah, we'll see. And I think whenever you sign up with your credit card, I think you can cancel right away, if I remember right. Um, and then you won't get charged accidentally at the very end. I think it just does like a, is this a credit card? Yes. Okay, cancel, and then that 3 month subscriptions run through. Oh, so Duke of Qua wasn't really giving away switches. Yeah. If you need some support with that, like, hey, can we need to get a switch for like $100? We can help you guys with getting stuff off of eBay because we as an organization can like make something happen. Like we could buy stuff off eBay and ship it to you guys. That's not a huge issue for us. I know other like some school districts would be a little bit of a pain. One thing I will say is we probably only have about 2 years of being on the Switch 1. Then we're going to be switching to the Switch 2. But if that's the only thing standing in your way, we can make something happen. You'll just maybe just need to return it to us at the end of the season if that makes sense. If that works, let me know. we we're definitely willing to help out as much as we can. I'm still at 11 viewers, so according to this. Uh, oh, yeah, it's been like that. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So Duke, hit me up. Let me know what you need. If you're just needing like games, that's super easy for us. We literally just have codes that we can just send out to you guys. Um, and so yeah, codes we can definitely get you guys for free. If you need switches, we can make that happen. Um, and so you guys are just focusing on Smash Bros. And Rye, are you Meridian Tech? Okay, yeah. So Duke, that's good to know that. Yeah, right, doggy dog. Oh, um, so yeah, Duke. Just shoot me a message. At Dalton DALTON Hawkins HAWKINS at idahoesports.gg. Oh, okay. You're Renaissance. Yeah, we have parent. Yeah, yeah, the virtual school kiddo. Uh, yeah, Renaissance. If you guys are thinking on um having Overwatch, because I know what the kid that you're talking about. If you're having Overwatch, yes, we can. We can look at that. Oh, okay. It's a completely different kid that you're talking about. Okay. Yeah. Dalton DALTON dot Hawkins HAWKINS at idahoesports.gg, or just info at Idaho, and I can get to it. It'll go to me as well. Yeah, Renaissance. Are you guys thinking you're going to have an Overwatch? Because they also reached out to Meridian Tech, and I think Meridian Tech might be able to make something happen. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Let us know. We can kind of go either way with it. We'll... Yep. That's pretty common. Okay. All right. Yeah. No, that's Duke. That makes sense. I'm just gonna keep this live so you guys can exchange info. This will be really boring on the YouTube. What are they talking about? There's a chat happening. Okay. Okay. Renaissance, I can just connect you with him whenever he emails me. So I'm gonna end this. Thanks everyone for joining, and have a good one.